Hey folks, I'm back at the Polaris Sportman 500, the carburetor issue. I've got the carburetor back on. I didn't bother filming that. I mean, that's if you took it off, you're able to put it back on. You don't need for me to show you that. Now, ran into another issue. So the carburetor's back on. I turned it over and it wouldn't start. So I was thinking the bowl might be just take a while to fill up. Turn it over enough that I killed the battery. So there's another issue on it. What I did is I undid the fuel supply to the carburetor, turned it over, no gas came out of it. Now these ones here, I'll bring it over here, hopefully you can see. I've already taken it off. It's a little too dark in here. I'll get you guys a flashlight here in a sec. But anyway, the what I ended up doing is buying a new fuel pump. Fuel pumps for this are not that expensive. I think it was $30-some. Got it at a company called Fortnine. I think they're in Ontario. This one is a Moose. I've dealt with them quite a bit. They get reasonable prices. Delivery is usually free if you have $50 or more parts. So what I did is I just bought some extra oil filters, which I will go through anyway. Plus this brought me up to an amount where it was free shipping. So here's a new fuel pump. And how I determined that I need one is, like I said, turn it over and nothing was coming out of the fuel supply line, so fuel pump's done. So anyway, I'm going to replace that. It's fairly simple. I will bring you guys back in a few minutes here. I'm going to set this up on a tripod and get it all ready for you guys and bring you back. Okay, so here's the old fuel pump right here. Right there. It sits on this plate. And this plate, it's hard to tell right now, but anyway, it kind of, this plate sits this way here, right here. So I just fished it out, undid it. So we need to basically unhook these lines, and it's held on to the back here with 2 screws. That's it. Nothing to it. So what I'm going to do here, so that I don't get myself all mixed up with the which line goes where, is that I'm going to unhook the lines and basically follow the same pattern as the old one here, and put the lines on right now. So so let's see, this here, one of the lines feeds to the carburetor. It feeds the fuel. Another line goes directly to your petcock, so that's where you turn your fuel on and off from the tank. And the other line goes to a vacuum on your carburetor. So when you turn your ATV over on the starter, it creates a vacuum in the carburetor, which is hooked up to the fuel pump. It's like a suction. You can feel it when you unhook it and you put your thumb on the end of that hose and you turn it over, you can feel it, the suction on it. So you hook that up. So with that suction, it activates these diaphragms that are inside this pump, and then it will feed your carburetor. I believe I read somewhere where it's like 0.5 to 1 psi, so it's really not that much, but I guess enough that that's what you need to feed your carburetor. Now, if this happened to you in the bush, a way to get yourself out of the bush, I guess, would be to unplug the feed from your petcock to your pump and hook it directly to your carburetor. So now you're back to a gravity feed. So that should be enough fuel to get you out of trouble. So that would be a fix in the bush. But Anyway, I'm going to need both hands here, and I'm gonna have to move the camera out of the way, but I'm gonna unplug those lines, match it up to this one, and hook it back onto the plate, put the plate back in place, and then we'll see if she starts. I'm not gonna bother filming the process of hooking up the fuel pump and whatnot, but I'll bring you guys back in when I attempt to start it. Okay, so pretty well ready to start it. I've had it running, just to let you guys know. It's running good. It took a little while to clear itself up. I think maybe just to get the gas flowing and whatnot, so it seems fine now. When it comes to leaking gas, I'm not too sure if you'll be able to see this or not, but at the carburetor, let me turn the flashlight on. Okay, so right there, let me get my finger on it, see if that will help. Right in that area, right here, there's a little knob right here. I'm getting a little bit of gas. That's my drain, and this is the screw right here to drain the fuel. So it's not dripping, but it's a little wet. I'm not too sure what's going on. I turned it a little bit more. I was able to get a little bit more out of it to turn it. I don't want to turn it too much. I don't want it to break. But I have to keep an eye on that. So I looked in the manual, and I don't see like an O-ring or anything like that on that screw. So not too sure why. Got a little bit of gas there, but other than that, it starts really well. Let me get it going here for you guys. So it's warmed up, obviously. It's gonna start really well, but it didn't take much choke to start it to begin with. So let me, I don't have the breather on or nothing like that, so I gotta put all that stuff back on. So it's a little bit louder than it should because of the carburetor is open right now. So here, I'll show you guys how easy it starts now. So yeah, as you can tell, my starter's starting to give me a hard time, so there you go. It's running well on idle. Couldn't ask better than that. The first time the starter has done this, so might be an indication that my starter is starting to go, which is right here. Shouldn't be too hard to change when the time comes. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I've got the pull start too if I need to get it going. But anyway, seems to be running good. So my next step now is going to be to put this all back together. I'm not going to bother filming that. You should be able to do this on without too much directions from me. Pretty simple. Just take your time. But anyway, that'll be it for the carburetor. So my next step will be to go out for a little test run, but it won't be right now. I'm going away here pretty soon, going back to the Maritimes. Visit folks, and the weather here is this rain. That's our winter here in the lower mainland of British Columbia, which is I'm about 40 minutes away from Vancouver. This is what we get: rain. We do get a little bit of snow, but mostly rain. So don't feel like quadding in the rain, so I'm gonna wait till the weather is nicer and take her out for a test run. But for now, we'll call it good, and hope you enjoyed the video. So please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like the video.